And I bought this one so you didn't have to. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Chantel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you saw the title, you know that I am going to show you some of the perfumes that I have purchased with small reviews of each one over the course of the last month. If you want to see what I've got and you want to hear what I have to say about them, stay tuned. For those of you that are OGs, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate your love and I also appreciate your support. For those of you that are new, what I tend to do in my videos is if you look below, I give you all of the information about what we are going to discuss in the description box. I tend to get a little bit chatty and I think that having a timestamp allows me to keep things organized and it just makes the experience a little bit better for you. I'm gonna try to list the notes on the screen so that those of you that are familiar with fragrance notes, if you want to look at the notes as I'm speaking, you can go ahead and do that. For those of you that are like me, you kind of like to hear how it smells on someone and what kind of vibe it gives to someone as well. I'll give a short review of the fragrances as well. Enough talking already. We're going to go ahead and get into what I've gotten. The first thing that I purchased was from Jo Malone. This past summer, I got a chance to visit a Jo Malone store. They put in my bag some samples of the poppy and barley scent. Now, I wore it while I was traveling and it just reminded me of that travel experience. So I went ahead and finally bit the bullet and I purchased a full-size bottle of the poppy and barley scent. They also had a deal running to where if you purchase something for $135 before coupons, you got a Jo Malone little baggie here. Jo Malone usually does a very good job with samples as well. So they gave me a sample of the Peony and Blush Suede Lotion. They gave me a sample of some Orange Bitters, which this is not a favorite of mine. And I know this isn't marketed as a unisex scent, but I'm going to give like these samples to my nephew. I also got a sample of the lime basil and mandarin body and hand lotion. And I got a sample of the tuberose and angelica body cream. I absolutely love this. If you love tuberose, which is like a white floral scent that's kind of spicy and a little bit more tropical, then you would absolutely love this. But this angelica scent, it just makes the tuberose kind of not as tropical and bright. It kind of makes it a little bit deeper and a little bit more mysterious. Love this. Cannot wait to purchase this in a full size. I also got a sample of the lime basil and mandarin body cream, and then one of my OG favorites, Nectarine Blossom and Honey. Wild Bluebell was actually the one that introduced me to the house of Jo Malone, but Nectarine Blossom and Honey is one of my top favorite scents. So anyway, on to the review. Fragrantica lists this as a fruity, powdery, violet, sweet musky scent. I don't get a lot of violet. I'm not a person that really likes violet. When I got this, I was actually a little bit disappointed. If you have not checked out my top feminine scents video, please go ahead and do so. But in that video, I mentioned a Jo Malone, the Scarlet Poppy scent. And to me, this smells exactly like this. I was really looking for that fresh floral with just a little bit of fig note that I had smelled in samples that I was given a couple of months back. I'm not sure if they changed the formula of that. I like it, don't get me wrong, but it was not what I smelled when I had the sample. In the sample, I got a really fresh, kind of like clean, almost like a shower fresh, a little bit of sweetness, but that wheat brand kind of made it feel very warm on the body. And the powdery notes just kind of made it feel really comforting and sweet. It just reminded me of taking a shower and putting on a nice sweet fig lotion and just being snuggled in some big white fluffy comforter. I don't get that with this. I get a very sweet fig scent that smells exactly like the Scarlet Poppy fragrance from Jo Malone. I like it. I'm going to keep it, of course. But I was really just hoping for something that was like a nice, fresh, clean scent that I could wear in the winter and the fall. If you have Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy, it is my opinion, mine, that you do not need this as well. Okay, so I'm a type of person that I tend to like to smell like things as well. So I have scents and I'll go in and I'll buy something like, oh, I want something sweet. But then I'll get into a phase where I'm like, I want to smell like baby powder, or like I want to smell like Dove soap. I've been looking for a perfume that is reminiscent of the Dove Rose or the Dove Beauty Bar, the pink soap, for a very long time. And I ran across something on Fragrantica that talked about this scent by a brand called Camille Beckman, and this is called Camille by Camille Beckman. This is exactly Dove pink soap in a bottle. The only thing about it, it is very strong and it lasts for hours. One spray is enough for me because I think it's so strong that it can become headache inducing. And I think I purchased this for less than $20 on eBay. I loved it so much that I went back to the actual Camille Beckman website and I went and purchased the fragrance mist. The fragrance mist is just as strong. It is a very potent scent. So be careful if you are sensitive to fragrances. This may not be for you. And then I also purchased from the Camille Beckman's website their perfumed body powder. Listen, I know everybody don't like powder, but I have an extensive powder collection. If you want me to talk about body powders, go ahead and comment below, because I know I'm not the only one out there that still wears body powders. I do not wear talc powders, anything with talc in it, but this is a powder that they have, and it is, I think it's cornstarch, it's potato starch based, all natural, doesn't have any parabens or anything like that. But I got this in a French vanilla. I have plenty of body powders and other scents, but I do not have a sweet vanilla powder. I tend to use body powders on my back. If I'm wearing a t-shirt, I would use them under my breast. I also put them up under my arm since I use natural deodorants, and natural deodorants, while they help with odor, they don't necessarily help with wetness. Body powders come in handy for this. And then if I'm wearing a dress or a skirt, I may put these in powder in between my thighs as well. Love powder. A lot of the people on YouTube don't necessarily talk about them anymore, but I grew up wearing powder. I can't let it go yet. So this is the French vanilla perfume powder. Love it. Nice, strong vanilla scent. Just straight shooter vanilla, nothing else to it. Keeping on a theme of liking to smell like things, one of the other scents that I really like is the smell of Johnson's Bedtime Bath. I was reading on Fragrantica, of course, searching my little life away, and I came across Born Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker. It's exactly Johnson's Bedtime Baby Bath, except it's a lot more musky. So if you love the smell of that lavender Johnson Bedtime Bath scent, this is it. And the funny thing about this is the notes on Fragrantica does not mention lavender at all. So I am totally confused as to how this smells exactly like Bedtime Bath. It lists notes of peony, mandarin orange, some orange blossom, freesia, patchouli, cedar, and I think caramel in the notes as well. I don't get it. I don't get it. To me, it smells just like Johnson's Bedtime Bath. Absolutely love it. Got it for $30 on Amazon, so it wasn't a high risk buy. Another thing that I purchased was made by the brand of Clean, and it is the Flower Fresh scent. I purchased this scent because it seemed like a very safe blind buy. To me, this smells like, do you remember back in the day where we used to use Suave deodorant and we would just have the regular powder scent? That's what this smells like to me. It's a very light scent. It is a very safe scent. So if you're the type of person that you want to get into florals, but you don't want anything too floral, you want something that's a little bit more clean and a little bit more musky and with a little bit more citrus to it, this is it. It's safe, it's clean. It's one of those type of fragrances that I'll put on for a night shower, or if I am going somewhere like the movies, or if I'm going somewhere where there will be a lot of people around and I don't want to smell offensive. This is it. It's literally just like a citrusy, soft, clean, musky floral, and that's pretty much it to it. I like it, but it's nothing that I can just definitively say, buy this. It is a 100% love. Okay, the next thing I got was from the brand of Philosophy, and this is the Pure Grace Nude Rose scent. This scent here, this one surprised me. This is a very straight shooter, musky, clean rose. It does has a little bit of neroli and orange blossom to it. To me, that makes it just a little bit citrusy, but I would not consider this a citrus rose at all. I would consider a very clean hairspray type of rose. The cedar in here kind of keep it from not being too musky because there is some musk to it, but if you like rose, but you don't like a full-bodied rose, you want something that's just a little bit light and a little bit clean and a little bit feminine, but not too citrusy and definitely not too vegetative, this is the rose. The hardest part for me is figuring out what I'm going to wear with this besides baby lotion, because I think other lotions that I have is going to overpower it, but I absolutely love it. I think it was worth the buy. Okay, so Kilian just released the On the Rocks collection in 0.25 fluid ounce bottles, and I purchased this on the Sephora website for about $45, and this is the apple brandy scent from the On the Rocks collection. Now, I love and have Angel Share. I've talked about this in several videos by now. I'm sitting over here looking at my empty bottle that needs to be replaced, but I kind of wanted to try the apple brandy one. Now, a lot of reviews on YouTube were saying that they were very disappointed in this scent because it smelled like something that they could find from Bath and Body Works. Well, for me, that actually made me want to get it. So I went ahead and purchased it. Ooh, child. When I first smelled this, that cardamom just literally slapped me in the face, and I don't really get a lot of bergamot from it, but I did get a little bit of apple, and then I got a lot of rum, and then it also was very woodsy for me. So it was like if you had a glass of an apple rum and you were in a forest drinking it. I know that just is probably one of the worst descriptions ever, but that's all I can describe for this. Would I purchase a full size of this? Absolutely not. I actually thought about returning this, but I said I'll keep it, and if I don't like it so much, I'll give it to my nephew, because it is definitely a unisex scent, and I can definitely see myself appreciating it on a man. There is some vanilla to this as well, and it does it is very boozy. It's very thick and boozy, dark licorice. Kind of smells like an apple Hennessy, if you ask me, with a little bit of woods. But I also got the Flower Bomb in the Sky by Viktor and Rolf. This was on sale for, I want to say, about 60 bucks on Nordstrom's website for some odd reason. So I went ahead and purchased it thinking, because they said that this one was kind of like a very fresh, airy version of Flower Bomb with a lot of rose to it. I don't get it. Now, I will be 100% honest with you, and I will tell you that I have not got a chance to wear this on fresh, clean skin. But just spraying this, all I smell is regular Flower Bomb. I love Flower Bomb, so of course I'm going to keep this and love this, but I don't get this magnificent rose scent that they're talking about on the reviews. So yeah, really can't give a very thorough review to this, but if you like Flower Bomb and you want a lighter version of it, go ahead and get this. But if you're looking for something that's totally different, a flanker that's like a very clean flanker, I will skip this. So the next one that I got is Delina La Rosé, and I'm just gonna call it the Rosé version. Parfums de Marly, they have 3 different types of Delinas. They have the regular Delina, they have the exclusive Delina, which is a little bit more of a marshmallowy vanilla version of Delina, which is a very heavy, intense rose, if you ask me. And then they have, I think it's pronounced La Rosé, but it's very hard for me to roll my R's. I already have a lazy tongue, so I'm just gonna refer to it as Rosé. Rosé is a more fresh, clear, more watery floral than the regular Delina as well as the exclusive. I've already used this and I've tried this on clean skin. This particular scent here, I was thinking, oh, it's just a very light floral scent that's going to be watery, and it has some pear in it, and it has peony in it, and it's Turkish rose. So Turkish rose, I tend to do really well with it. And it has white musk. Oversprayed. I probably sprayed this about 5 times. Where all I needed was a 1 on my belly and 1 on my back and maybe some on the back of my knees. This is very strong for me, and although I really, really love it, I drove myself sick. I'm telling you, I drove myself sick over spraying this. Regular Delina, I can't handle it. This one is a very light floral, watery rose. I absolutely love it, but it is very strong. It is very pricey as well. Don't go blind buying this, especially if you're not the type of person that likes faux scents. This is not going to be your jam. Another very special for me is by the House of Casa Morati, and this is Lira. I own Italica, and I absolutely love Italica. If you like a buttery cinnamon toffee type of cookie, you would love Italica. I went ahead and got a decant, and I was working on the decant. To me, this smells like a cinnamon lemon cookie. I really can't give much more than it smells very lemony. Like if you had a lemon cookie, if you went to a cookie shop and you found a lemon cookie, and then you ask, can you just sprinkle a little bit of extra sugar and a little bit of cinnamon on there? That's exactly what it smells like to me. I wore this when I went on a vacation as well, and I took my sample with me, and it also reminds me of that vacation. This is another one that you don't want to overspray. Just a couple of sprays and you are good. I love to wear this in the winter and the spring. I love to wear this when I am going out. I'm going to be outside for a little bit because this just performs very, very well in the cold weather. Casa Morati, they are a very spendy house, so definitely try this before you buy it, because it might not be your thing, especially if you don't like sweet and gourmand scents. I got a couple of favorites. Now this is a particular perfume that I have literally been wanting since, I want to say it debuted in 2011, and I've been wanting it since 2011. And this particular perfume, it actually is discontinued and it is very hard to find, but I found a seller who has that. This is from the House of Bond9, and this is I Love New York. This is a brand new tester that I purchased, and this particular perfume is, I don't have any other way to describe this except a blueberry cupcake. I wore this, I couldn't even wait for this video, but I wore this to work, and the dry down, it just did something amazing to me. I just love the fact that the blueberry stayed with me, and I love the way that that musk came out. Once the blueberry came in and that peony and that rose came in to kind of marry it and was like, okay, let's make this a little bit more grown lady. The vanilla helped it kind of mellow out a little bit, and that musk came in and mixed really well with that peony and that rose, and it did something magical on my body. Love, love, love this. I paid $200 for this. Not even gonna lie to you, absolutely will do it again, because I'm gonna go back and purchase another bottle of this. Love this stuff. Been wanting it for 10 years. Been kind of saving and chipping away at it until I can finally put the money towards it. Loves it. Another Bond9 that I got is a relatively new one from their house, and this is called TriBeca, and I ended up throwing the packaging and everything away, but this is the 3.3 fluid ounce, and this is another one that is extremely spendy, and I bought this one so you didn't have to. Let me tell you why. This one says that it has notes of cacao, hazelnut, cedar, jasmine, and a dry down of ambroxan, caramel, and musk. This particular fragrance let me down for several reasons. When you first spray it, it comes off very strong, like, oh yeah, you thinking like, okay, but then it dries down so quiet, and it just kind of sits there on your skin, and it's almost a skin scent. Now the first and only time I've worn it, I got an unsolicited compliment, which was very nice to have, but for the price of this particular fragrance, I was a little disappointed at the performance and the projection. Another thing that was very disappointing to me is how close it smelled to Baccarat Rouge 540. To me, it is almost a dead-on dupe, except it is loaded with caramel. What I get from this, I can get from Baccarat, and if I added a caramel lotion or a body cream to Baccarat, I can get this. Then on top of that, I get the projection and the longevity that this should have been giving me for the price. Don't recommend this. I love this. I am absolutely going to keep this in my collection, and I'm not going to take it back because it was a gift, but was very just disappointed overall. I can get on a whole rant about Bond number 9, about the House of Bond, and how over the years they've been kind of disappointing me, but I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to leave it right there. So that is TriBeca. I think that's all that I have as far as my haul. If you stuck around this long, big shout outs to you. You are a real one. Stay tuned. I have plenty of videos coming up, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.